We've always been symmetrical. That's what our parents used to say. Not just identical, mirrored. I was right-handed, he was left. My hair parted one way, his the other. Even the way we stood felt reversed, like we were reflections that had stepped out of the glass. It was a joke when we were kids, a curiosity, until the first cut. I was slicing an apple in the kitchen when the knife slipped. Just a shallow nick across my index finger, nothing serious. I remember hissing, dropping the knife, watching a thin line of blood well up. At the same moment, my brother, across the room, jerked his hand back. "What?" he started. There was a mark on his finger. Same place, same length, but wrong. Where mine was a clean cut, his looked like something had pressed inward instead of slicing across. The skin indented slightly, pale and unbroken at first, then darkened as a scar as we watched. We didn't speak for a long time. We didn't need to. We tested it after that. Small things, harmless. A pinprick on my arm, a bruise appearing on his, but deeper, as if struck from the inside. The patterns never matched exactly. They inverted, reversed, like something was translating the damage incorrectly. We stopped experimenting, but it didn't stop happening. The first time it scared me was the night of the accident. He called me. His voice was off, tight, controlled. "I fell," he said. "Just stairs. I'm fine." I felt it before he finished speaking. A twisting sensation low in my abdomen. Not pain, not at first, just movement, slow, deliberate, like something inside me was shifting out of place. "Are you sure?" I asked, my hand pressing instinctively against my stomach. "Yeah," he said, "just bruised." The feeling worsened. My breath caught. Something slid upward beneath my ribs. I staggered, gripping the edge of the table as a wave of nausea hit me hard. "This isn't—" I started, but the words broke apart as the pressure increased. "Are you okay?" he asked. I couldn't answer, because whatever had happened to him was happening to me, but wrong. I went to the hospital. I had to. The pain came in pulses now, each one accompanied by a sickening shift inside my body. The doctor pressed against my abdomen, his expression tightening. "That's not where your liver should be," he said slowly. My stomach dropped. "What?" He hesitated. "We need imaging, now." The scan was quick, too quick. They brought me into a room that smelled sterile and cold, the fluorescent lights buzzing faintly overhead. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, trying not to move as my insides seemed to rearrange themselves with each shallow breath. When the results came back, no one spoke at first. I saw it on their faces. Confusion, then something else, something closer to fear. "Your organs," the doctor said carefully, "they're inverted." "How?" I asked, my voice barely holding together. He swallowed. "They appear to be mirrored." My chest tightened. "Mirrored how?" He turned the screen toward me. I wish he hadn't. My lungs, my stomach, my liver, everything was there, but reversed. Not just left to right, folded inward, compressed inward, as if my body was trying to occupy the same space twice. I called my brother. He didn't answer. I kept calling, over and over, until finally he picked up, but he didn't speak. I heard breathing, uneven, wet. "Say something," I said, my voice breaking. A long pause. Then, "I think I moved wrong," he whispered. Something twisted sharply inside me. I gasped, my vision blurring as a sharp pressure built behind my ribs. "Stop moving," I choked. "Just don't move." "I'm not," he said. Another pause. "I don't think it matters anymore." The line went quiet, but I could still hear him breathing. And then, something else. A second breath, out of sync, layered over his. My grip tightened on the phone. "Are you with someone?" I asked. "No," he said softly. My stomach dropped, because I could hear it too, that second breath coming from the same line, from the same space, as if two bodies were trying to breathe in one place. The pain hit all at once, violent, final. I doubled over, the world collapsing inward as everything inside me pulled tight, compressing, folding, forcing itself into a shape it couldn't hold. I screamed, or I tried to, but the sound didn't come out right. It echoed like it wasn't just mine. Through the ringing in my ears, I heard him again, faint, close, too close. "We're not separate," he said. And in that moment, I felt it. Not just the movement, not just the pain, but him. Not beside me, not somewhere else, inside the same space, overlapping, pressing inward, trying to become one. My vision flickered, darkened, and just before everything collapsed completely, I caught a glimpse of my reflection in the blackened screen of the monitor beside me. For a split second, there weren't two of us anymore. There was one shape, twisted, folded, struggling to hold itself together, before it finally stopped. My parents believed symmetry was sacred, not aesthetically, not as some harmless obsession with neatness. They treated it like survival. My brother and I were mirror twins. He was left-handed, I was right. Even as kids, our rooms were arranged like reflections of each other. If I stacked 3 books on the left shelf, he had to stack 3 on the right. If I moved a chair, he adjusted his the opposite way. Everything had to balance perfectly. If it didn't, our parents noticed, always. "Order keeps the walls stable," my mother used to whisper. I thought it was just another strange family rule, until my brother stopped following it. It was something small, a lamp. I nudged mine an inch to the left while cleaning. That night, my brother was supposed to move his an inch to the right. He didn't. I remember staring at his room from the hallway. The lamp was untouched. Wrong. The imbalance made my skin crawl in a way I can't explain. "Fix it," I told him. He just shook his head. "I'm done," he said quietly. Those were the last words he ever said to me. The next morning he was gone. Not missing in the normal sense, not packed up, not run away. Gone. His bed was made, his clothes still hung in the closet, toothbrush still damp in the bathroom, but my parents barely reacted. My mother only sighed and began straightening picture frames. "He crossed incorrectly," she said. That was all. No police, no panic, just silence. After that, I started seeing him. At first, only in mirrors, a glimpse over my shoulder, a shape in the bathroom glass. But when I turned, nothing. Then it got worse. Windows at night, dark TV screens, puddles after rain. Always him, always doing the opposite of whatever I was doing. If I lifted my right hand, he lifted his left. If I leaned closer, he leaned away. Not like a reflection, like a person pretending to be one, watching, waiting. I stopped sleeping, covered mirrors, avoided windows. Didn't help, because reflections are everywhere. One night I woke up thirsty and went downstairs for water. The kitchen window above the sink caught my attention. Black glass, my reflection faintly visible. And him, standing beside me, closer than ever. His face looked thinner, paler, pressed somehow flatter, like depth had been removed from him. His hand lifted slowly, not mirroring me, pointing at the lamp in the living room, still slightly off-center. My stomach dropped, the imbalance still unresolved. A soft tap came from the window, then another. My brother smiled faintly, the first genuine expression I'd seen from him in weeks. And then I understood. He wasn't trying to warn me, he was waiting, because all I had to do was fix the lamp. One small correction, one symmetrical movement, and from the reflection I watched him place his hand flat against the glass, ready to come through the moment I made mine match his. I grew up believing I had been born alone. That's what my mother said, what the records showed. A single heartbeat, a single cry. But there were always echoes. Small at first, a metallic taste in my mouth when I hadn't eaten anything, like copper sitting on my tongue. A chill sliding across my skin when I stood in warm rooms. The sensation of fingers brushing my arm, light, uncertain, when no one was there. Doctors called it stress, nerve misfires. I learned to ignore it, until it got louder. It started with the pulse. Not mine, out of sync. I'd be lying in bed, listening to my own steady rhythm, when another one would slip in between the beats, faster, urgent, like something trying to keep up. I pressed my hand to my chest, trying to match it. It never aligned. After my mother died, I went back to the house. I hadn't been there in years. It felt smaller, emptier, the air stale, thick with dust and something faintly sweet underneath. I wasn't looking for anything, just closure. But the echoes followed me there, stronger than before. The cold came in waves now, sudden, soaking chills that left my skin damp as if I'd stepped out of water. And the pulse, louder, close, not inside me, around me. I found the door behind the hallway closet. It didn't belong there. Narrow, sealed, the handle rusted. When I pulled it open, the smell hit me first. Sterile, old, like a hospital room sealed too long. The space beyond was small, windowless, a single bed, machines lined against the wall, outdated, silent, except for one, a heart monitor, flatline, a continuous tone that filled the room, sharp, endless. But as I stepped closer, the sound changed. Beneath the flatline I heard it, a heartbeat, faint, out of sync, not coming from the machine, from the air, from the space just above the bed. I reached out, my fingers met nothing, but I felt it, warmth, pressure, like something was there, just beyond reach. My breath caught. "No," I whispered. The heartbeat quickened. So did mine. And then the sensation hit, cold water flooding over my lungs. I choked, staggering back, clutching my throat as I gasped for air that suddenly felt too thin, too shallow. The heartbeat surged, demanding, hungry. My chest tightened violently, my pulse stuttered, and then it skipped. Once, twice. The other rhythm filled the gap, stronger now, pushing into mine. I fell to my knees, my vision blurring as the room tilted sideways. And in that moment, I understood. There had been two heartbeats once, not one, never one. I hadn't lost a twin. She had been taken out of this world before she could fully exist. Unborn, but not gone. The flat line screamed louder. The air pressed inward, and something invisible shifted on the bed, as if sitting up. My lungs seized again, this time longer, deeper, like they weren't mine to control anymore. A thought formed in my mind, not mine, clear, cold. Make space. My chest convulsed, my heartbeat faltered, and as the second rhythm forced itself into place, I realized the truth that made my body go completely still. She wasn't trying to reach me. She was trying to finish being born, using whatever was left of me.